On second down, here's Wilson. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on fourth. And they will not get the snap off here. This is going to back them up halfway. They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
Now Hill to return it.
It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
All right.
On play action, here's Tua.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Now, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa completes it to the tight end Smythe. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. They'll swing this out wide. Here's A-Chain. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the gun, it's Tua. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 18.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On first down, Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Broncos at 3-6 now on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
It's complete to Williams. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
At the 50-yard line.
Play action. It's Wilson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Tua going to throw. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Tua sets up to pass it. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So they bring out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Here's Smith to return it. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10.
37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Here's Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Solo left Zion.
After the turnover, it's Tua. Open net is Waddle complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 16 more on that one and another first down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Hey, 21 here. Watch it, Oscar.
And again, it's Tagovailoa. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line. Now Tua. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Armadillos will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Broncos nothing. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 46. The kick by Sanders is good, and that will do it for this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football, because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. Running right, here's A-Chain. 20, 5, touchdown! Devon A-Chain, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Armadillos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And ultimately he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Channing Tindall. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Broncos nothing. Jason Sanders set to
So they
kick
throw
off.
the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Firing quickly, and now a fumble. The ball's out. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. Loose inside the 30. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. On second down, a run by H.A. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Here's 3rd and 3. Looking to pass. Tua. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Sanders' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Hey, 0-0-0.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Solo left Zion. Solo left. Ice jam. Ice jam.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He dumps it off to A-Chain. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down. And that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000 is a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays high.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal.
At the 2-yard line.
It'll be first and goal when we come back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
They're right here. Turbo 1, high. Turbo 1, ready.
Touchdown! A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Armadillos continue to pour it on here in the fourth. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk it.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Sanders now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Armadillos 54, Broncos nothing. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this returnable for Hill. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for the touchdown. That punt returned 69 yards. And the Armadillos have opened the lead up to 60. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Sanders on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Armadillos 61, Broncos nothing. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Okay, ready? Go!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job. Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league. Here's 2nd and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
70 range.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the second time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Tua to try again on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up four fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess? He didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier. He wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you can always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that, because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
They're on the 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
2nd and 11. He'll drop this down to Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
A gain of 15 yards. And the Broncos.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Ready? 18, Rattler. 18, Rattler. Buffalo, 18. 60, Maverick. 60. Ready.
They go play action here on 1st down. And this one is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
2nd and 10.
19 tight. 19 tight. Mustang 19. Panther 11. Panther 11. 60 Bobcat. 60 Bobcat. Take off.
On play action, they'll throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Trap 60, trap 60.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 77 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is taken in at the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
A-Chain fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
Ready.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
20 TX.
One more time with A-Chain. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped here for no gain, and that is going to be the final play of this football game. So this crowd